There is a place in the world that needs no introduction. A place that does not belong only to a city or even to a nation, but to all humanity. Just one glance is enough to recognize it. Iron rising toward the sky, lines intertwining like a colossal drawing, a silhouette that seems to reach for the clouds. The Eiffel Tower, symbol of Paris, symbol of France, symbol of Europe. But more than that, a symbol of dreams, of audacity, of humanity daring to challenge the impossible. Today we take it for granted. It glows at night, it decorates postcards, it watches over lovers, kisses, and promises meant to last forever. But its birth was not a love story. It was a story of struggle, fear, resistance, and courage. A dream that shocked Paris. When Gustave Eiffel announced his project, the reaction was immediate and brutal. An iron tower more than 300 meters high, a dark giant looming over Paris. To many, it was a nightmare. Artists and intellectuals called it an insult to beauty, an offense to the city of light. They mocked it as a monstrous lamppost, a factory chimney, a skeleton of metal that would ruin the skyline forever. Petitions were written, protests erupted. Some demanded the project be stopped before it could begin, and yet that mad idea would become reality, and that reality would become legend. Paris at the edge of a new era. To understand the Eiffel Tower, we must imagine Paris in the late 19th century, an elegant city of cafes and boulevards, gas lamps glowing at night, writers, painters, and poets crowding Montmartre. But beneath this romantic surface, Paris was changing. This was the age of electricity, of machines, of steel and steam reshaping the world. And at the heart of this transformation, a radical idea was born: to build the tallest structure ever created by human hands. Not a cathedral, not a marble palace, but a colossus of iron. Iron, raw, industrial, mechanical.
We must act.
A material
Agreed.
once
Signal
reserved
regard.
for bridges, railways, and factories. The tower was conceived as the centerpiece of the Universal Exhibition of 1889, organized to celebrate the centenary of the French Revolution. France had to impress the world. It had to prove its technological and industrial superiority. And Gustave Eiffel was ready, a race against time. But the dream came with a terrifying constraint. The tower had to be completed in just 2 years. 2 years to design it, 2 years to fabricate thousands of iron components, 2 years to assemble a structure no one had ever dared to imagine. In January 1887, work began. The chosen site was the Champ de Mars, beside the River Seine, a vast open space that would host the exhibition pavilions. The silence was broken by the first blows of the pickaxe, building the impossible. The foundations came first. They had to be deep and unshakable, able to resist wind, rain, and time itself. 4 massive pillars were anchored into the ground. 2 rested on solid stone. The other 2 required caissons sunk below the level of the Seine, as if the river itself had to be subdued. Every single iron piece was calculated with millimetric precision. There was no margin for error. In workshops, more than 18,000 components were forged, drilled, and numbered like a gigantic puzzle. Each beam, each bolt, had only one exact position. At the Champ de Mars, steam cranes lifted the pieces into place. Workers balanced hundreds of feet above the ground, suspended in open air. No modern harnesses, no helmets, no safety nets. They walked the iron beams like tightrope walkers, with the wind tearing through the scaffolding. Every day was a battle against fear, and yet during the entire construction, among more than 300 workers, only 1 life was lost. An extraordinary number for the time, and a testament to Eiffel's discipline and care. A city divided. As the tower rose, so did the controversy. Parisian artists were furious. A manifesto was published, signed by famous figures like Guy de Maupassant and Alexandre Dumas Fields. They denounced the tower as a disgrace, a scar on Parisian beauty. Gustave Eiffel did not argue. He did not protest. He simply said, "When it is finished, you will see. It will be beautiful." Touching the sky, day after day, the giant took shape. At 50 meters, Paris already seemed small. At 100 meters, the rooftops shrank beneath the workers' feet. At 200 meters, no building in Europe could rival it. It was a journey into the sky. On March 31st, 1889, Gustave Eiffel climbed more than 1,700 steps to the summit. At the top, he raised the French flag. The tower stood 312 meters tall, the tallest structure on Earth. Paris no longer looked at it with suspicion. It looked with awe. World arrives. On May 6, 1889, the Universal Exhibition opened. Millions of visitors arrived from across the globe. America, Japan, India, and beyond. All had heard of the Iron Tower dominating Paris. Standing before it, no one remained indifferent. Some felt intimidated. Others felt wonder. Never in human history had anything like this been built. Climbing the tower became an unforgettable experience. The elevators, engineering marvels of their time, carried visitors upward. At each level, Paris unfolded below. From the first floor, grand avenues and exhibition halls. From the second, a mosaic of rooftops. From the summit, the entire city spread out like a map, the Seine cutting through it like a silver ribbon. People wept. People stood in silence. It was not just a view, it was a revelation, a temporary monument, and yet the Eiffel Tower was never meant to last. According to the contract, it was to stand for only 20 years. After 1909, it could be dismantled. Many welcomed the idea, but Eiffel had other plans. Saved by science and war, Eiffel transformed the tower into a laboratory in the sky. Meteorological instruments, aerodynamic experiments, and most importantly, radio antennas. When the French military realized the tower could transmit signals over vast distances, its fate changed. The tower became indispensable. During World War I, it intercepted enemy communications and helped defend France. What was once called an eyesore became a guardian. Occupation and resistance. During World War II, Paris fell under Nazi occupation. The Eiffel Tower stood silent, but defiant. Legend says the French cut the elevator cables so Hitler would have to climb on foot. He never did. When Paris was liberated, the French flag flew once again from the summit. The tower had endured, from monster to muse. After the wars, the tower's meaning changed forever. Artists who once despised it began to paint it. Photographers framed it. Writers immortalized it. The Iron Monster became a muse. In 1985, new lights transformed it into a glowing jewel. In 2000, sparkling lights were added, making it shimmer like a diamond every night. From that moment on, the Eiffel Tower became a ritual, a nightly miracle, a universal icon. Today, millions visit it every year. Some climb it, some admire it from afar, but no one leaves untouched. Because before that iron giant, you feel small, and at the same time, part of something immense. The Eiffel Tower no longer belongs only to France. It belongs to the world. A silent promise that humanity can build not only weapons in wars, but wonders. And every time its silhouette cuts into the Parisian sky, it reminds us of a simple truth. The most impossible dreams are the ones worth daring to live.